That was me doing my happy dance for you. Welcome back to Books with Miss B. My name is Miss B. I am the creator of this YouTube channel, Books with Miss B. So thank you so much for stopping, visiting, and getting ready to listen to this wonderful story with me today. I'm also the founder of Miss B Tutoring. And I want you to know before I get started, before every single story, that you are loved. And I forgot last time I read a story that I showed this heart that my son does, but my daughter does it too. All of us are obsessed with this. We tend to do this often, so this is for you. You are loved. Miss B loves you very much, and I hope that you know just how special you are, just by being you. Please don't ever change, because guess what? I like you just the way you are. Kind of like Mr. Rogers. Maybe you know who he is. Maybe you do not know who he is, but he, for me, was a wonderful, wonderful man who had a show, a TV show, and he would always make sure everyone knew that they were loved as kids, just as they are. So I want to pass along that love and hope that you know just how special you really are. Today's story is about a little boy who for a very long time was just himself until somebody came along in his family and started to take the attention away from him a little bit. So maybe you have a brother, maybe you have a sister, and maybe you are the oldest. Like me, I was the oldest. And then 2.5 years later, my sister was born. And she came into our lives and was just this big ball of fabulousness. But it wasn't so easy for me, being a big sister, suddenly having to share everything. But I'll tell you now today that we are best of friends. So, sister, if you're watching, I love you. Mwah! So this is a story all about what it's like to have a new sibling in your life, in your family. And sometimes it's really super duper hard. It can be challenging. You can feel like frustrated that the attention's no longer on you, or you have to share your toys or your room. So let's go ahead and get started. This is by the author Lauren Child, and this story is called The New Small Person. Elmore Green started off life as an only child, as many children do. Like me, I started off as an only child. He had a room all to himself, and everything in it was his. He was very proud of his room. He watched all of his favorite cartoons on his own little TV set. No one ever changed the channel. He could line up all his precious things on the floor, and no one moved them 1 inch. You know what's going to happen, don't you? When his Uncle Cecil gave him a jar of jelly beans, Elmore could eat every single bean all by himself, in whatever order he liked. Do you like jelly beans? There was no need to worry about anyone eating the orange ones, because Elmore Green's parents did not eat jelly beans. Elmore Green's parents thought he was simply the funniest, cleverest, most adorable person they had ever seen. And Elmore Green liked that, because it is nice to be the funniest, cleverest, most adorable person someone has ever seen. Oh, well, but then one day, everything changed. Do you know what changed? Somebody else came along. That new person was small and didn't do much, but still, people picked it up and smiled at it and gave it things to chew. They all seemed to like it, maybe a little bit more than they liked Elmore Green. The new small person didn't like watching Elmore Green's favorite TV cartoons and would squawk until the channel was changed. Elmore did not find shows for small people at all stimulating. But everyone said that small person couldn't help it because it was only small. Sometimes the small person would come into Elmore's room and knock things over and sit on things that didn't want to be sat on. Once it actually licked Elmore's jelly bean collection, including the orange ones. As anyone knows, jelly beans that have been licked are not nearly so nice. But everyone said Elmore could not be angry because the small person was only small. He's just little. She's just little. Did you ever hear that about a little brother or sister? Elmore Green wished the small person would go back to wherever it came from. But Elmore's parents explained that this was not possible. Did you ever wish that before? The small person got bigger and things got much worse. One day, Elmore found the small person wearing his fourth most favorite outfit without asking. "That's mine," said Elmore. "It is not for small people." "I want to be the same as you," said the small person. But Elmore Green did not want to be the same as someone small. The small person followed Elmore Green everywhere. It wanted to sit next to him. It wanted to copy everything that Elmore did. It wanted to be everywhere that Elmore was. "Where are you going, Elmore?" said the small person. "Nowhere," said Elmore. "Can I come?" said the small person. When the small person said things like this, Elmore Green would go and sit up a tree. He did not want someone small following him around. It's getting really frustrated. One awful day, the small person moved its bed into Elmore Green's room. Now Elmore couldn't get away from it. It was always there, looking at him. Sometimes it would stretch out its arms and say, "Huggy!" But Elmore didn't want to cuddle up someone small. However, one night, everything changed. Elmore Green had a bad dream. It was very upsetting. A scary thing was chasing him, waving its grabbers and gnashing its teeth. Elmore screamed, "Ah!" And the small person bravely got out of bed and clung onto him. "Go away, Scary!" shouted the small person. It was nice to have someone there in the dark when the scaries were around. You can see him crying. You see his tears. A few days later, Elmore Green was lining up all his precious things so they reached from his bedroom door all the way down the stairs. It was a very long line of things. The small person was amazed. "Ooh," it said. "I could make them reach to the front door if I had more things," said Elmore. "I have more things," said the small person. "I have at least 5 or 3 things. You can have them." It felt good to have someone there who understood why a long line of things was so special. The next evening, Elmore was laughing at the TV. The small person looked at Elmore and then at the TV, and then he laughed too. It was very funny. More funny somehow with 2 people laughing than just one. They're starting to enjoy each other's company. Elmore opened a jar of jelly beans. "You can have a jelly bean if you like, Albert." His brother Albert smiled. Elmore smiled back. "Whichever color you like," said Elmore. "Except orange." Because that one was his absolute favorite. The end. Thank you so much for listening to the story today, The New Small Person by Lauren Child. We absolutely love this book at our house. Please, if you like this story, go ahead and press the like button below, the thumbs up. And if you want to hear more stories every week, go ahead and subscribe to Books with Miss B. I love you very much, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Books with Miss B, friends. I have something very important I want you all to know.
Please, please, always remember this.
Remember that it is always
very, very important to love who you are.
And don't try to be anybody else
but who you are. Because, in case you didn't know, I'm going to tell you.
Are without a doubt in my mind